I never thought that I would be on here talking about this, but I feel like this is a part of my story that needs to be shared. Because as much as I love traveling, I'm more than just that. So back at 2018, 2019, I was at my heaviest, almost 260 pounds. And it wasn't just about the number on the scale. I was uncomfortable in my own body. I didn't have low self-esteem. Do not get it twisted. I had a low, heavy pouch at that time that simple things that people was able to do, it was extremely hard for me to do. Walking, running, sleeping, dressing. Now, I am 160 pounds. I've had a panniculectomy. So this is a new beginning of me becoming me again. Hey y'all, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Terry. And this channel is all about becoming the woman I was meant to be and helping other women along the way through travel, wellness, style, self-growth, and real life stories. And this video is pretty personal for me. I'm going to be talking about my weight loss journey, what led me to a panniculectomy, what the process looked like, and where I'm at now. Now, before we get into this, I want to be perfectly clear. I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm only sharing my personal experience. Everybody's body, health, insurance is all different. So if you do decide to go this route, please talk to your doctor about what's best for you. So let's get started. So as I stated early on in this video, around 2018, 2019, I was my heaviest at about 260 pounds. I had picked up some bad eating habits. I was stress eating a lot. Food became my comfort. It was what I reached for when life was just too much. And before I knew it, my body started changing in ways that was just hard not to ignore. One of my biggest issues was my lower pouch. After having 5 pregnancies, 3 of them being C-sections, that was one thing that was hard for me to get rid of. It was low. It was to the point where it was touching my thighs. It was heavy. It was just so uncomfortable. I sweated a lot underneath of it to the point, even if I put something underneath of it to help dry it out and for it not to have an odor underneath of it, nothing was helping. It was embarrassing. It was so frustrating. And it felt like I was always managing my body instead of living in it. Don't get me started with running. Running was extremely hard. Did I like how it made me look in clothes? Absolutely not. But what made me upset about it more was the fact that I wanted to work out. I wanted to do certain things, but some days it was just painful and I just couldn't deal with it. And this is coming from somebody with a high pain tolerance. The moment that really opened my eyes happened when I was asleep. I woke up having a hard time breathing. I remember struggling to catch my breath and it scared the living crap out of me. That was one of the moments for me where I could no longer ignore what my body was telling me. It scared me enough to say, okay, it's time for a change. And I didn't change everything overnight. It happened small. I changed my eating habits a little bit at a time. I started exercising more. And when I say exercise, I mean walking longer distance. I tried to be more mindful, and on my own, I was able to lose 35 pounds. That was a huge accomplishment for me because it was something that I did on my own. But then I got stuck. For about 6 months, I was stuck at 235. And when I say stuck, I mean stuck. I tried intermittent fasting. I left sodas alone, sweets, even condiments. I was doing all the things that people was telling me to do, and the scale wasn't moving. That part was extremely frustrating for me because you're trying, and your body's not responding the way you want it to. You just feel defeated. And I want to be honest about that because a lot of people see the after, but they don't see the months that you're doing everything you can and still feeling like nothing's happening. It's been a couple of times where I was about to say, forget it. I give up. Eventually, I started doing research on Wegovy. I checked with my insurance to see if it will cover it. And then I spoke with my doctor about it. That was about 2024 at the time. My doctor put in the prior authorization for it, got approved. I would say maybe a month in, I started slowly seeing the weight coming off. I was excited. It wasn't an overnight thing, which I wasn't expecting it to. It was very slow. But one of the biggest changes that I saw in myself after taking it, and I was so happy about it, was I no longer stress eat. I barely ate at all. I used to be the type of person where I would eat a whole medium pizza on myself. I barely could eat 2. That was a major shift for me. But then because of other medical problems I started having, I got sick and I had to stop taking it. A few weeks later, my stress eating slowly started coming back, and I ended up gaining 20 pounds back. That was hard for me. Everybody's always looking at me because I'm always having a smile on my face, and they're like, you don't seem like you're going through a lot. When you are parenting 4 children and 2 of them are neurodivergent, when you're dealing with that in a high-paced job and just other stuff, it can be extremely stressful. Because when you see yourself losing weight and then you see some of it coming back, it messes with you mentally. You start feeling like, here we go again. So once I got better, I tried to get back on Wegovy, but at this time, everybody was getting it. Me and my doctor, we decided to give Zepbound a chance. He put an authorization for it. It was approved. It took me a couple of weeks to find it, but luckily my nearby pharmacy had it and I was able to start it. And with Zepbound, I started back losing weight again. At this time, I got down to 190 pounds, y'all. I don't even remember the last time I was under 200 pounds. That was a moment for me. Because when you've been at 260, being under 200 pounds feels so unreal. And there's some people out there will say, well, you didn't do it on your own. Sometimes some people need a little push to get to their goal. And that's okay. I got there. That's what matters. I was proud of myself. I got emotional. I was like, damn, I really did this. Now, let me say this. I'm not telling everybody to get on the medication. This was a situation that I had a discussion with my doctor. My doctor, we sat down, we talked about nutrition. I went to see a nutritionist. I tried changing my diet. I tried exercising. I ran out of options and it was messing with me mentally. So let me explain how we got to a panniculectomy. So even though I lost all this weight, I still had my lower pouch. It wasn't as heavy as it was, but it was still touching my thighs and I was still having the sweating issues. Now, I did have this discussion with a surgeon before about me getting a panniculectomy, but the insurance I had at the time, it put me through the ringer with trying to get it. They had so many requirements and I gave up. But once I changed my insurance, I realized my new insurance didn't have nearly the same restrictions as my previous insurance did. And the one thing I realized that the requirements that my new insurance wanted, I've already been doing it. And thank God my doctor has wrote detailed office notes and had everything listed on there. So once he did the prior authorization and he sent it to my insurance, I didn't have no problem getting it approved. So once it was approved, I went to my surgeon. We talked about my goals and she asked me, was I at my weight goal that I want to be in? I honestly told her I wasn't and that I wanted to at least be under 175. She did agree. So we scheduled a 3 months appointment just to see where I'm at. And if I was at my weight goal, then we would schedule for the surgery. That part felt so real for me. And I was so excited because we was actually getting somewhere. So when I got to my 3 month appointment, I was actually lower than 175 and I told her I was done. So we went ahead and we scheduled for my surgery for February of 2025. I was excited. Of course, 30 days before the surgery, I had to do my pre-op, make sure everything was good. I had to do a chest CT, everything was good. Now, let's talk about the surgery and the pain. So once I got there, I had to get there about 5 o'clock in the morning. They prepped me up. All I remember was the anesthesia told me to count from 100 backwards. I don't even remember saying one. All I remember was waking up. I was in a chair and I was groggy. But listen, do not fully go by me when it comes to pain because I have a high tolerance level. So the first time I had to move after walking up, say my pain level was about a 4 out of 10. For me, the only thing I really needed was Tylenol. But my surgeon, she prescribed me stronger pain medication just in case. But I think I only took one. I mainly took the Tylenol. But again, that was my personal experience. Everybody's different. Now let's talk about the recovery. That was definitely adjustment. I bought enough pillows to try to help prop me up on the bed, but I was so uncomfortable trying to sleep on there. I ended up propping the pillows to the side of me on the chair and sleeping on there most of the time. I also had 2 bulbs on each of my hips that I had to drain out. One stayed in for about 2 weeks, the other one stayed in 2 weeks longer because it was still draining a good amount of fluid. Trust me, the recovery part was not glamorous at all. Would I do it again? Absolutely. So where I'm at now, I am at 160. I wasn't trying to lose any more weight. And am I still on Zepbound? Yes, but I'm more so on it for maintenance. It is a lot of change, both physically, emotionally, and mentally, in a good way, though. But now I'm in a space where I'm trying to find my style again. So, because of me being so big, sometimes I will wear like something different, but I was primarily in t-shirts and jeans most of the time. But now I'm just trying to figure out what I like on my body, trying to find my style. What makes me feel good? What makes me feel like the version of me that I'm becoming? And this is the reason why I started this channel. Just one, I want to see my growth. And two, I want to help other women as well if they, yes, this is mainly me showcasing me, exploring, traveling, but I also want people to know I'm more than somebody that just travels. I'm more than just a mom. For you to follow my journey as I try to figure out, am I? My kids have already asked me if I would go with them to the anime convention next year and dress up, and I might just go ahead and do it. I'll be 40, but guess what? I don't care. Because that is what this chapter is about for me. It's not about weight loss. It's not just about travel. It's about me being able to enjoy myself, figure out how to navigate through life, being a parent, going through grief. Stop hiding to try new things. To dress up, be silly, be present. To feel comfortable in my own body. So, yes, this is a part of my story. And remember, this is my personal experience. Please talk to your doctor about what's best for you. Thank you for being here with me. Until next time, bye.